Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. My name's Dr. RK Powar, Rosie, whichever one you prefer. Today I'm going to be talking about learning, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into 4 sections. Firstly, I'm going to talk about learning styles. Secondly, I'm going to tell you a little story. Thirdly, I'm going to talk about something called Modus Operandi and how I feel that all links in. And fourthly, how we can use what hopefully we've gathered in this short video to make our learning better, whether that's for ourselves or whether you're in an organisation or you're a manager and you can improve productivity. So let me start off first with learning styles. Learning styles, there's predominantly 4. We either learn by seeing, so we're visual. Some of us learn better by listening. Some of us learn better by reading and writing. And some of us learn better by actually doing the task at hand. And to complete learning, we have to do different kind of amounts of each. And I'll give you an example there. To learn to drive, if you're a visual learner, yes, you can see everything, you can learn everything, you can go and pass your theory test, but until you haven't actually driven your car, you've not actually done it, you can't complete the learning that you need to be able to drive a car. Now I'm going to share a story. This dates back to when I started my MBA. When I started my MBA, we were all introduced in the induction period to professors, and we were then to pick a supervisor that we would want for our dissertation, and it was a two-way process. They would obviously want to supervise us, and we would want to be supervised by them, I should say. And I remember picking one of the professors that came into the room, and she used a whole string of words which I honestly didn't understand. So I thought to myself, this is how I'm going to get the best learning here. I'm going to go with this supervisor. And that word actually that she used, for some of you that are interested, is epistemology. Needless to say, I do fully understand it now, but I didn't at the time. So I decided I was going to go with her. She was happy to have me as her student, and my friends and colleagues said, more so colleagues actually than friends, said, no, that's going to be hard work. Don't go with her. Are you asking for trouble? And I kind of heard what they had to say, but it kind of just stayed there. And we started with our first assignments, and she was actually a course leader for one of the assignment sections that we all needed to do. So luckily I got to know her before she became my supervisor, and we handed in our assignments. We all used to handwrite them at the time, unless you were a director and you had a secretary type it for you, which I wasn't. And I got my work back, which I was extremely proud of when I handed it in. And needless to say, when I got it, it had more red pen than the black pen that I'd actually written my assignment with. And I just thought, no, this cannot be real. And you know what? You should have listened to your class colleagues. What have you done? You know, maybe you need to go and see your course leader and say to her, I need to change my supervisor. Before that happened, the professor said to me, Ravi, you need to resubmit this assignment. Come with me to my room, and I'm going to give you something to read, and that should help you. So I went into her room with her, and I am not kidding you. She had paper piles, this big, scattered all over her room, and the best way I can describe it, it was scattered as confetti. I thought, That's going to be an interesting task. How are you going to find the piece of paper that you want to give me and all of that? And I'm not kidding you. She sat down and she went like this and she picked it out and she gave it me. And it was done as simply as that. And how she did that amazed me at the time. But then I did realize after a short while that we all have ways of doing things. And to assist learning, we have to break things down into compartments. But we are more complex than that. We are complex beings, and we cannot just simply be classified into little boxes. So that's the valuable thing I learned from that little exercise. So modus operandi. What is modus operandi? Modus operandi has Latin origin, and basically it means that we all have ways of doing things. It's something that's used by detectives to work out the psychology of criminals. That's where it's used a lot of, because everyone has a unique way of doing things. It's also used by detectives to work out what a criminal's next moves may be. In the business world, it's how an organization works, how it executes its deals, and how it interacts with other organizations. So similarly, we as individuals have our unique way of doing things. So how does all of this relate? It relates in the following way. That when we do something, or when you next do something, or I next do something, if we watch carefully how we're doing it, what patterns we're observing, as well as what classification, whether we're visual, auditory learners, if we can see patterns, then not only can we improve our learning, but we can increase the speed at which we learn. And similarly, if you're a manager of an organization, you can work out not only the style of learning that your employee has, but how they work, how they operate. You can put those together and improve the productivity of that person, and then in turn the productivity of your team and your organization. I hope these little examples are helpful. I hope you find them useful, and if you do, please hit the like button. Please do hit the subscribe button, and I will be back soon. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Have a great day. Bye bye now.